The December 2024 elections is just a few months away, but already there are many who believe that this election is a crucial one that is a make or break, especially for the nation. And while conversations are surrounding some of the biggest political parties in the country, there are other individuals and interested parties in this whole electioneering period. We're here to speak to one of those people. He's not a new face in the political landscape. Dr. Hassan Ayariga is a popular name and a figure. This will be his third or fourth time trying to get to the highest office of the land. Welcome to this election desk interview here on Ghanaweb TV. My name is Etsey Atisu. Doc, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Wonderful.
Good.
And how is the campaign going?
Campaign is expensive.
That's quite honest.
Yes, campaign is very expensive, and it's not be easy going around.
Okay.
There are two major political parties. They have monetized political campaign, and because of that, any leader who have to go out and campaign in a day must be looking in between 100,000 to 250, 300,000 to spend a day.
A day?
Yes, a day.
Is that specific to a particular region or across the country?
Everywhere, if you want to go out and do campaign. Every region.
That's
every
a lot
community.
of money.
Yes, because you need a minimum of, let's say, 1,000 to 2,000 t-shirts to move. 1,000 t-shirts is about 50,000 Ghana cedis. And another 1,000 that's almost 100,000 Ghana cedis just for t-shirt. If you are moving with just 2,000 t-shirts, you need vehicles, you need to fuel them. Wherever you are going, you have to organize the place and get the people to either wait for you or organize them in houses like communities, like in the chief's homes, in the chief's palace, community base, and other social gathering. And you have to pay for that. And then you talk about item 13. Whatever you do, you don't gather people. Now the economy is so hard and so tough that when you gather people, they expect to take something home.
At least you feed them.
Yes.
Okay.
Not only feed them, at least you transport them.
So that's the money we're talking about.
Yes, they expect you to pay for their transport to come to you, and expect to go back getting the transport, and expect to get item 13 as well. When you put all these things together, campaign is very expensive.
You clearly are telling us that it's expensive. So why the interest? Why are you interested? And in any case, after all these attempts, do you really think Ghanaians take you, Hassan Ayariga, seriously to become the next president of this country?
When you say why, I will first of all answer why, and then I'll answer whether the Ghanaian people believe in Hassan Ayariga's leadership. Why? Because the leaders who have ruled this country have failed us. And we cannot say every good thing is expensive. There is nothing that comes out and is cheap and you think that it's good. First of all, the why is that 32 years down the lane, we have seen parties change leadership, 16 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years.
That's in our fourth republic.
In our fourth republic. And you can tell that nothing good is coming out of their leadership. Look at the roads in Accra. It's terrible. That's the capital city of Ghana. Look at the living conditions of the people in Accra. Go to Circle and see how people are sleeping under the bridges. They can't get even proper water to bath. In Accra here, there's shortage of water every day. Prices of goods and services in the market outrageously increases almost every day. You talk about jobs. The youth of this country do not have jobs. They come out of schools and there are no jobs. So there's no future for any young man living in Ghana under the two leadership. So I, who grew up from Europe, I grew up in Germany.
Okay.
At age 16, I already have a car. Driving my own car. By age 18, 19, 20, I had a chain of pizza company, restaurants, running them and making money. By 2021, I was already fine. When I say fine, I was fine.
Fine as in
I was okay. I had
you were
houses.
a millionaire by then.
Yes, I had houses in Ghana. I had
and abroad as well.
a lot of things. So you look at the environment that I made all these things. That enabling environment is what I'm looking for my people. That is the why I am running for the president. If I can get all these things within 2021 and I'm okay, go abroad and you see that many young people at that age are fine. Ours are still struggling to get 3 square meals. Not even 3, 2.
It's been reduced to 1 actually.
So. Okay, it's been reduced to 1. So you are also confirming it. So you ask yourself, do we really have the leaders? We have oil, bauxite, manganese, diamond, cocoa, timber, rubber, anything you can mention of mineral resources and natural resources. Ghana is richly rewarded by God. But what we don't have is the leadership. And that is why our people are struggling and suffering.
You believe it's an issue of leadership?
I believe it's an issue of leadership. And leadership entails a lot. If you put a plane down and say, those who want to travel to, the first people who run inside will be probably the ministers, followed by the deputy ministers. And then as for the young people, they don't even get. That is how bad our country has become. That there's no hope for the future. But the only thing we see is corruption, mismanagement, wastage, and all that. So that is the how. Now, do Ghanaians take me serious? Yes, they do. If not, I won't be contesting for president anymore. Ghanaians are looking for a third force. A third force that will salvage this country. And the policies I bring on board is even what I spoke about in 2016 and 2020. And the Ghanaian people did not listen to. Today they are listening to it from the bigger parties, using it as their campaign.
So just your messages that are being refined, are being brought
back. But I said those messages in 2016.
What are some of those messages?
24-hour economy.
Okay. You are the one brought.
I spoke about it 2016, 2020. So if you go and take my manifesto, it's there. Today, my good brothers from the NDC are using it, and every Ghanaian is like a digitalization. I spoke about e-governance in 2016, 2020. Today, NPP is using it, and what do you call it? And every Ghanaian is saying digitalization. So you see, these are things. Now, if you ask me, what message do the NDC and NPP have for Ghanaians? They have nothing. Totally nothing.
But you seem to have the ideas. You seem to have all the ideas.
Yes, I have. We're going to talk about them. I'm going to narrate them one after that and tell you policies. Maybe they shouldn't steal them before the time again.
Hopefully.
Yes,
Hopefully.
because I'm going to tell you how we're going to change this country, how we're going to transform Ghana within 1-2 years. You understand? The NPP says it is possible. It's a slogan. It's not a message. It's not a campaign message but nobody is asking them. Every day, Bawumia keeps saying things that if you listen to him, you don't know whether they are taking Ghanaians for granted or we don't have, let me not use the word competent people to contest. But I don't see any message coming out from these two parties. I don't see anything concrete. I see them just using their platforms just to make sure that the media carry their campaign activities rather than their campaign messages.
Okay.
Are you with me? Because clearly, if these two parties have message, we will not be where we are. The fundamentals will not be where we are. Look at the Ghana cedi, almost 1760 to $1. It's unacceptable. The Ghanaian businessmen are becoming poorer by the day because of the depreciation of the Ghana cedi. In 2007, a million Ghana cedis was $1.1 million. I made those changes.
The government says that they've gone through certain phases. There's been COVID, there's been the Russia-Ukraine war. The world has suffered from these very obvious challenges. Would that not be fair to say that is a reason we are where we are, so that you are not comparing a year or a time like 2007 to now?
It is only an ignorant person who will sit down and see COVID as a punishment to Ghanaians rather than a blessing. COVID took lives, but it also came back in a form of blessing to Ghanaians, because Ghana was given a lot of billions of cedis and support. Till date, the government of Ghana is still charging people COVID levy. So what are you telling me? I just cleared my car. I paid almost 400,000 Ghana cedis to clear one car. And the COVID charges on it was almost 40,000 Ghana cedis.
40,000?
Yes, Ghana cedis.
That's, and in total, you
in one car, in clearing one car, I paid over 40,000.
Is that a four-wheel drive, a saloon?
Just a normal four-wheel drive for my campaign. And each car was duty. Some of them, they were depending on the duty. Some are paid 16,000, some are paid 22,000, some are paid 30 and 40. COVID levy.
Is this why you have one of your policies as something that's going to tackle the ports,
yes.
Make it free?
Is
yes. That why? Is it because of your personal experience?
No, it's not because of why. It's because, what are we importing into Ghana?
Almost everything.
We don't need that. We need to begin to export. So I will come to my policies and then we'll explain to you why. I'm just answering your first two questions. So Ghanaians really believe in Hassan Ayariga. The only difference between the NDC and the NPP is that they are campaigning on state resources, using state fund to campaign. So they are able to get to the people the way they want, rather than Hassan Ayariga. Now look, a president, Vice President Bawumia moves around. He moves with state vehicles. He moves with state funding. He moves with state security. He moves with state fuel.
That's for the NPP.
I'll come.
That's for the NPP, by the way.
Yes.
Okay.
He moves with that.
Okay.
Now the state is funding his campaign.
Yes. On one side.
On one side, against Hassan Ayariga. If Bawumia goes to a chief and greet the elders of the chiefs or groups and give them money, it's our state money. If you wear the NPP t-shirt, it's state money. If you wear a NPP jacket or whatever, it's funded by the state. On the other hand, if you wear my t-shirt, it's coming from my personal pocket. If you see me driving a Land Cruiser, a pickup or whatever, it's my property. If I go to a hotel and pay bills, it's coming from my pocket. If I go to the chief and donate one cedi to the chief, it's coming from pocket. Will you make this comparison and say it is fair for political parties in power to use state funds to run their campaigns? And that is why I called for amendment of the Constitution. Not amendment of the Constitution, actually making sure that the Constitution works.
Works. So the Constitution doesn't work now?
When it comes to that. Now, go to Article 68 of the Constitution. It says, whilst President of the Republic of Ghana, you cannot hold any office, private or public. You cannot involve in any business, running any company, either making profit or emolument, or holding a position, public or private.
Okay. So actually says hold the office of the Chancellor. Okay. The number 2 says the President shall not, on leaving office as President, hold any office of profit or emolument, except with the permission of Parliament, in any establishment, either directly or indirectly, other than that of the state. How is that tying into your argument?
Good. Now the argument is that the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana is holding a political office which is public. He's now the leader of the NPP. And per this constitution, you cannot hold office of vice president at the same time hold office of.
So you are suggesting that he steps down?
Yes, I said it on and on. I am asking him to step down because now he's not going to be in his office for the next 4 months. He's going to be campaigning, using state resources, moving from one region to another, moving from one community to another, and his office is going to be vacant. So who is the vice president today of the Republic of Ghana? And who is the NPP presidential candidate?
But there have been precedents.
And that precedent shows that we have been making a lot of mistakes and we have to correct it.
Okay.
Even it says, whilst president, even the president himself, let me shift to that so that people don't get confused. Read it again. It says, president even
shall
is
not,
shall
on
not.
leaving office as president.
Yes.
It says on leaving office.
No, whilst in office. It didn't say on leaving office. Whilst in office, Article 68. Read
68,
Article. Yes.
of the Constitution.
Number
it
1.
It says the president on leaving office as president. The B says hold the office of chancellor or head of any university. Maybe we should read it from the top. It says the president shall not, while he continues in office as president. Okay.
Read that section.
The president shall not, while he continues in office as president.
Yes.
A. Hold any other office of profit or emolument.
Yes.
Whether private or public.
Yes.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
So even the president himself is banned from holding a political party office whilst in office.
This is a very controversial.
It is not. It's the law.
So what happens?
We've abused it over the years.
So does it mean no president can seek a second term?
You can seek, but you have to resign.
How do you do that?
Because when you are president and you are elected flag bearer of your party, 3 months to election, within that period of 3 months, you have to resign for your vice to take over. This is the constitution. I am not the one saying.
Doug, I'm trying to just understand this.
Yes.
A certain president wants to seek a second term because per our constitution, you are able to go for 2 terms, 4.
Yes, but now the constitution
you are the same constitution
says that whilst you are in office, you are not supposed to hold public office, private or directly, public or private. You are not supposed to hold it, profit or emolument. Now, the office of flag bearer of a political party is another portfolio which you are now going to lead. You are now going to lead another political party into an election.
I'm sure this conversation
about
what needs to be done with the constitution, especially with these two scenarios.
The constitution is not clear.
We need to be looked at. Yeah,
it's not clear. And I'll give you another problem again we are facing in this country. In the last election, I don't want to say this, but I have to say it. Nobody got 50 plus 1% in the last election.
Nobody?
Nobody.
So how did the NPP?
It's because they did not follow due diligence in competing the resource. Now go back and read.
Who did not do that?
The EC.
So you mean the EC colluded?
The EC did not do a good job. The Constitution says that a president shall be deemed president if he gets 50
plus 1
of valid vote cast. Listen to the word, valid vote cast. In the last election, they did not do the calculation, or they did not use valid vote cast to determine the election. They used vote cast.
What is the difference?
The difference is that 70 million people went to the polls to vote. 16 million was valid. 1 million was destroyed. So if the 1 million was not valid, spoiled ballots, spoiled votes, and all those things is 1 million. Now, in competing for the results, you need to use 16 million to compete for the 50 plus 1, not 17.
It's clear that your campaign is to negate the duopoly of the NDC, the NPP. Help us understand how the APC and you, Dr. Hassan Ayariga, are going to convince people to move away from what they've known for the greater part of their lives, to come to believe in your ideals. I mean, for this nation.
When you asked the first question, I said the campaign was expensive. That is the problem. We have monetized our political campaign, thereby not giving minority parties the opportunity to reach the people and they'll hear their voice. Now what they do is that they sell their votes. The Ghanaian people have been subjected to poverty and suffering and hardship. Instead of now listening to the policies and the visions and strategies of political party, they are now selling their votes. And that's the problem.
So it's no longer about policies.
It's no longer about policies. And that is the problem. And those elite that you can't buy their vote, they have decided to become adamant. And that is the reason now we have voter apathy. So see, in the last elections, I'll still refer you to that one, because that is just the past one. 70 million people were registered as voters. 11 million people went to the polls. 6 million Ghanaians refused to go to the polls. These are the elite who understand the dynamic of democracy and politics. They are not interested in going to waste their time on NDC or NPP. So that is why there was so much voter apathy. This year, it's probably going to increase.
You mean there's 6 million?
Yes.
And could that 6 million have been people that would have voted
for us? Now, we are saying, APC and Hassan Ayariga, we are saying, look, we understand your pain. We understand the hardship. We understand the difficulties. But if I have to pay for you to vote for me, I'm equally going to be like NDC and NPP. And I don't want to be corrupt. You ask them, where did they get the money to pay you? Where are they getting the money? Why will you want me to give you a job and you have to pay me for me to give you the job? That is corruption in the highest order. And we, the citizens, we are encouraging the corruption that NDC and NPP are doing, because we do not ask them hard questions. We do not ask them difficult questions. When you want to buy a mobile phone, you examine the phone. You look at it, whether it's quality, you test it to see whether it's quality before you buy. Do we do same when we are voting for either NDC or NPP?
How do you discourage the people who have known how
through your media? I'm not discouraging them. I'm educating them.
How long
There's
will
a difference
it take you
between,
to do that?
If you can carry these stories as far as you can, it will take me less than a month.
You think that less than a month?
Less than a month. Because
before the elections this year,
before the elections, it is just the issue of people listening to us. People debating with us. You see, today the NDC and NPP are running away from their own debates. It's not because they are running away from debates. It's because they can't sit and let the Ghanaians hear the truth of the matter and understand the dynamics.
On that score, by the way, would you participate?
I have even asked for the two of them to sit before me. And when they sit before me, I'm calling for a debate from John Mahama and the NDC, NPP. But in this case, I don't want a debate where we all go in with foreign materials. I want a debate like as I'm sitting now here with you. I'm not holding any document. I'm not holding. And I'm going to tell you policies upon policies and how I'm going to change. This is debate for me. But when you go and sit down, you are given your manifesto, you're given an iPad, you read direct from the iPad. It is an encounter. It's not a debate for me. And that's what they do all the time. Let's be serious about this debate. It doesn't matter whether John Mahama wanted to debate Bawumia, Akufo-Addo, and Akufo-Addo refused, or whether Bawumia wants to debate them. The issue is that we are going into an election, and Ghanaians want to hear what you have as presidential candidate, what you have for them. It is not about who is your colleague. If it is in that case, I started running president way before Bawumia and even President Mahama. I started contesting with President, may his soul rest in peace, President Atamils and President Akufo-Addo. We're in the same camp. But today, I am willing to sit with the two of them and debate. In politics, there's no class. What is important is your vision and policy to be able to tell the people to change their mind and transform their life. That is the class.
Let me allow you to.
So I will advise the NDC
to catch your breath just for a bit. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about all your policies and how you really want to change the mindset of people. We'll be back shortly.
That's good.
Dr. Hassan Ayariga is the founder of the All People's Congress, APC, and he's also one of the faces that have been on the political scenes for a very long time, wanting to become Ghana's president. Doc, you say you give Ghanaians a new identity, a new passport of the sort. How do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Look at see if now you are giving me my policies back. Instead of
You want to begin from there? I mean, yes.
I said this because, you see, we have a country where foreigners have taken over. Our lands, our properties, our resources, our minerals, everything is in the hands of the foreigners. It is only in Ghana that you can be a foreigner and go to the chiefs and buy plot outright and becomes yours. I said, when I become president, I'm going to have 3 identities, 3 different passports. The first passport, which is the green passport, is going to be Ghanaian. Parents, father and mother, all Ghanaian. That passport is a unique passport for the first-class citizen of Ghana. And that person is the only one entitled to run for president, to become an MP or member of any public institution, to buy land in his or her name and own properties in Ghana. That person is entitled to all the benefits that a citizen can have. Number 1. Number 2 is a second passport where you have half-half. Parents, let's say European and mother Ghanaian. You are entitled to buy property using the name of the Ghanaian, not yours. So you get the second passport. So your limitations, you have a lot of limitations. You cannot run for president, you cannot run for MP, and you cannot run for public office.
When people think that's discriminatory.
I am coming. The last passport is those who naturalize. Who says, okay, I want to be a Ghanaian, I'm an American, I want to naturalize and be. Those people are not entitled to buy any form of property in Ghana or any form of property. Ghana is for Ghanaians. We are practically losing our sovereignty, our properties, because we are underprivileged.
When you say it's for Ghanaians,
yes.
If someone naturalizes, is the person
yes,
not a Ghanaian? If the person by
Ghanaian,
marriage,
you're not born Ghanaian.
Okay, so maybe you should
Those
qualify.
Who are married are under that group.
So maybe we should be talking about qualifying what you mean by Ghanaians by saying
the
that
first class citizen.
The first class citizen.
The first passport, the green.
Okay.
You see, very soon, because we have monetized politics, and people can have Ghanaian passport by naturalization or by marriage and everything. A Chinese man who happens to have a Ghana passport, a Ghanaian passport, can come and contest for president. A Lebanese who happens to have a Ghanaian passport can come and contest.
You see that happen one day?
It is going to happen. It's coming.
Is that a prophecy?
It's
yes. Are you not a prophet?
I'm not a prophet, but I see beyond things that you don't probably see. I see a lot of things. When I sit down, I've roamed around this world. No matter how rich you are in China, you can't own a property as a foreigner. It's happening. Nobody has ever said anything about that.
But China practices a different type of...
And I'm going to practice my own.
That's why they've been able to do that.
You cannot.
Yeah.
You hold a second passport, you cannot hold a weapon in Ghana. A third passport. You cannot have a weapon in Ghana. You cannot register a company under your name. You cannot.
Won't that scare people away from Ghana?
It's not going to scare people. It's going to get our sovereignty back. Look, all the lands in this country have been sold to foreigners. Go to the prime areas in Accra and see those who are living there. Go to Trasacco, they are just foreigners. Go to Rich, foreigners. Go to airport, foreigners. It will get to a point, even there are some hotels and restaurants in this country that they will ban Ghanaians from going in there. It's coming. I don't know whether it's even happened.
Right here in Ghana?
Yes. It's happening in Kenya. It's happening in other foreign countries, African countries, that Chinese have taken over companies and they say, oh, black man, you can't enter here.
In democracies?
Yes, in this country. Even in Ghana, very soon you hear that there are some restaurants that when you're a black man, you come to tell you no.
That's your second prophecy.
it will happen. Because we don't value ours, we don't protect ours. And I'm going to protect my sovereignty for the people of Ghana. I will go one day. But we have to put the laws and regulations that will protect the people.
Somebody say talk is cheap.
Poverty is a crime now.
Okay.
It's a crime to Ghanaians because we're losing everything. Nigerians are buying our land outright every day. Togolese and Germans and Burkina Faso and Lebanese are owning all the big properties. Take the road sprinters, the industrial roads, and go in and look through how many Ghanaians own these factories. They are all owned by foreigners. You come, any company you want to open, you go through a first-class citizen's name and open. The day you want to go, you can go. The property doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the citizen of Ghana. Anything you want to do has to be Ghanaian first. And now I come back to my policies.
Yes.
Look, my first policy is change of mindset.
Change of mindset.
That's first policy number one, change of mindset.
That will take a lot of time to...
It's not going to take a lot of time. It involves dialogue.
Okay. Dialogue with who? The citizens?
Everyone, the citizens, the president sitting before the citizens and telling them the truth of the matter and believing that all of them must begin to work for our motherland, Ghana. We must change our mindset. The way we do things, we're at work site, as humans to another, the way we behave towards our country, the issue of what we call Ghanaians first, in terms of anybody who has to do anything in Ghana Ghanaian man must come first in everything. That change of mindset, that we need to change our attitude towards building this country and making sure that this country becomes the country we all want it to be. That we have no other country anywhere. And until we have that mindset change and attitudinal change to believe in ourselves and work together and build a strong country, and that the president will periodically have to communicate with the people to let them know that this is your country, Ghana. You're not going anywhere. If we refuse to build it, nobody will build it for us. If we refuse to protect it, nobody will protect it. Every citizen is a patriotic citizen to his country. And his alliance is to his country. We must begin to have that mindset first. And if we have that mindset, corruption, mismanagement, wastage will be thing of the past. Because we begin to think otherwise, behave otherwise. Our attitude towards work will change. That you know that by 6 o'clock you have to be at work. You know that at 5:50 I am at work. 6 o'clock I'll start my job. Our attitude will change towards the way we look at the way the country is so dirty. We'll change our mind that we must keep our city clean. We must work to make this country a very beautiful, conducive, understanding place for everybody to come and live.
And then from there, you say you would improve healthcare.
From mindset, change of mindset, I move to the second one, a national data system.
What's a national data system?
National data system is a database to collect information of every Ghanaian and all people living in Ghana, right from their facial recognition, their properties, their fingerprint, their blood samples, their salaries, their employment status.
Is that not what the Ghana card and the likes of the census does?
The Ghana card does not keep records of everybody. It keeps records of people from 15 years going upward. It does not have information of your salary. It does not have information of your properties. It does not have information of your income. It does not have information of your blood sample and all that. That is just a Ghana card meant to take certain groups of people's information, not everybody. Now the data is different from the card. The data gives you all the information of every Ghanaian. So you, Atisu, all I need is just Atisu, your telephone number. I key in your telephone number, and every information about you will drop. It's unique. Your telephone number is unique. No two people can have the same number. I key in your car number plate, and every information about you will pop up. I key in your date of birth and your surname, and every information of yours will pop up. Whether you are working or not, I'll know. If you're a student, I'll know. If you're employed, I'll know. If you're out of school and you are on the street, I will know. If you are stealing government money, your accounts information will show. The date, your accounts information will show. Whether you have 3 properties or 5 children, all the information about you will be keyed in.
Are these
this
policies
is a unique?
Are these policies not very alien to the Ghanaian? And I say this because maybe what people call bread and butter issues may not necessarily be about you creating a data system that would have all the information. That people want jobs.
When the rain is about to come, and you look at the clouds and you're asking, is it raining? Is it about to rain? You hold on and wait till I get there, and you will see what I'm doing.
All
you
right.
see, we have a banana economy.
Okay.
And because we have this banana economy, we are unable to plan. So let me continue, and you will see where I'm getting to.
Please do.
Now, I gave you first one, change of mindset. It's a revolution of everything. You have to build a country using systematic policies, not promises to win election, promises to build a society and build a country. NDC and NPP see Ghana as business. I've never in my life thought of being a president to become a businessman. So they are doing business. I am not doing business. I want to run a country. I want to build a nation. So you want to do business, do your business with a country. I am here to build a nation. So I'm continuing. So change of mindset. You remember in 1979 when President Rawlings became the revolutionary leader, he spoke to the people mindset was on, they were all following him, let the blood flow and all that. That was the mindset of the people to come all together to build this country. At that time, this is the kind of mindset I need now. That people will support me, follow me, and will build the country for all of us. So the data system gives me the information and the statistics of how we all live in this country, our status, our everything. Then it takes me to the third plan, a national development plan. So with the data system and the database, I am now able to use it to plan for the future. When it comes to education, I'm not just going to train people to write exams and pass anymore. I am going to use the data to get the kind of graduates I'm looking for. In planning, so people don't go to school now just to become graduates. People go to school because they are going to fit into the industry or into my planning of 2025. So the students who are in school now are now going to use specific courses that will integrate them into the system. Not reading arts or any other things to become a graduate. No, I am training you for the job out there. Because my data gives me the kind of information that I need. I'm lacking doctors, probably lacking engineers. I don't have enough engineers. I don't have enough nurses. I don't have enough farmers. I don't have enough doctors. So that data I have will now show that, look, this year we need 1,000 people to become doctors. We need 2,000 to become nurses. We need 5,000 to fit into the industry. We need 2,000 students to go and do agric and all that. So this gives me the National Development Plan policy, where now I plan my country based on the data that I have, so that we don't just produce students who are avoidable. So if I want 1,000 students to go into police, right from level 300, a slot is given to every school, the number of policemen I want in the system. So if I'm looking for 10,000 policemen next year, I'm not going to pick them from the street and say, everybody go and buy. No, before you become an officer, you have to become first a graduate first.
So that'll be a requirement?
Yes, that would be my first
standard.
Standard. Every security institution, the requirement, the first requirement is first degree.
All these sound like very long-term.
They are not long-term.
Long-term plans.
Not long-term. When you put the institutions in place, they work automatically. So let's continue. So national development plan. In the planning, we have to come to what I call the economic lockdown production.
Okay. That's on the economy.
Yes, that's
economic lockdown.
Economic lockdown production.
You're going to lock the economy?
I'm going to lock the economy down.
Just like somebody said with keys?
Yes, like, you know, COVID-19 came and we locked down.
Yes.
We locked down because of a pandemic. And when we locked down, we could not produce enough to feed our country. After 2 weeks of lockdown, Ghanaians had to come out to Greater Accra, Greater Kumasi, looking for food. Now, what it tells us is that with the planning in the National Development Plan, where we now know that we cannot produce, we cannot manufacture, we cannot import. So everything we are importing. We import over $1.2 billion of rice every year. Meanwhile, we have farmlands in all the 3 northern regions and other regions where we can farm and increase productivity of production of rice so that we don't have to import. We import over $800 million of cooking oil. When we can produce cooking oil using granules, soybean, coconut, palm oil, and the rest, yet we spend over $800 million in the importation of rice and importation of oil. Tomatoes and canned tomatoes, we spend same. Chicken and fish, we spend all these things. Now, what I want to do with the economic lockdown is to lock down Ghana, that will become now a production, manufacturing, and industrial hub. And that is where my policy number 5 comes. Production, manufacturing, and industrial.
Let me take you back.
And production number 6, hold on. I tell you, it's a cycle. You have to listen very well.
Okay.
All that I'm telling you is a continuation of a cycle. Now takes me to my 24-hour
I hope your policies are not going to get people even more angry, because these things seem like you are going to cut off people, businesses. When you say you lock down an economy, how about those who already run businesses?
They will import what they have to import for the next 1 year so that we can produce within the next year.
You become like the Joseph of Egypt.
I don't know who is Joseph of Egypt. I am Hassan Ayariga of Ghana. And this is how I want to run my country.
Okay.
Everybody has his own vision and policy. People who love this country have different vision of running this country. People who want to use the country for business have different ways of running this country. I love this country. I'm a patriotic citizen. I've gone around the world. I've seen how people have transformed their countries. Ghana is not an exception. Ghana cannot be poor. Ghana cannot be importing every day and talking about job, when there's so much job to do and we're not doing. There's so much work to do. It's only an ignorant person who thinks that Ghana is okay. But a big person like me can feel that Ghana is still a baby when it comes to anything in the world. We have all that it takes to transform this country, but we have given it out to the foreigners. We have gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese, oil, and foreigners are the one mining it. And we have become 21st century slaves in our own country. And my change of passport will not make any foreigner have any license to mine gold.
Doc, just so we manage,
a bit, you know, because I want you to understand where I'm coming from.
Just so we manage the time and also get you to speak about a number of your policies, because I know if we had a whole, they would get to speak about your bright policies for this country. Give me your top 3 policies. Top 3.
Mindset.
First of all. Second is what?
System.
National data.
Economic lockdown.
Great. Now, let's just move it forward a little, because we can have more time to speak about your policies.
Let me bring you now the 24-hour economy, how it links to what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Now, for the production,
just quickly, so that we can move on.
Manufacturing industrial hub, where we lock down the economy to become a food and a production nation. So we're now going to work 24 hours around the clock to be able to achieve the economic lockdown. And that Ghanaians are now going to be working 8 hours in the morning, 8 hours in the afternoon, 8 hours in the evening. And that is the 3-shift system, where there's a cycle of production. So production 8 hours in the morning, manufacturing 8 hours in the afternoon, industrialization 8 hours in the evening. So we are now going to turn our workforce into 3 groupings. So 24 hours around the clock, Ghana will be busy day and night. and productivity will increase, manufacturing will increase, industrialization will increase, because we are producing enough to feed the manufacturing industry. And the manufacturing industry is doing enough to feed the industrial industries. So we need to begin to know that we cannot be a country that have all these resources and yet import. We have to export. That will now bring us to the policy of retaining and making sure that our cedi become appreciated. Look, it's only an ignorant businessman who will take crude from Ghana and send abroad and go refine it and bring it back and sell. A smart businessman will put up a refinery here, and we have crude. We refine it and send it out. But what do? We take our crude. This is how we work. This is how Ghanaian companies work. They take the crude from Ghana. The Ghana government sells crude to outsiders. They buy the crude from us, refine it to a finished product, and bring it back to sell to us to make profit. Let me use the literal way of explaining so that you understand. It's like a farmer who farms rice, yam, tomatoes, and granules and all that. This farmer, instead of cooking the food to feed his children, he takes this farm produce and go and give it to a restaurant owner. The restaurant owner buys it from him and now prepare the food. And he and his family goes there to buy the food to eat. Literally, this is what I want you to understand.
Doc, I want us to extend this conversation, but I want to thank you.
Yes.
I want to thank you for at least sharing some of your bright ideas with us. We'll take this conversation further from here, but we'll end it for now. Okay. And then we can come back later and speak about it. Dr. Hassan Ayariga has been our guest here on Election Desk here on Ghanaweb TV. In another part of this interview, we'll speak more about his policies and also how truly he wants to transform this Ghana of ours. My name is Etsey Atisu. Thank you for joining us.